Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of My Name is Dad. We are back with another sports football episode. And in studio, back again, is Mr. Brody Benson. Say hi, Brody.
Hello. The favorites.
Hello.
Everyone likes me more than you, Dad.
Oh, I guess so.
Everyone likes the episodes that I'm in and when it's not just you.
Okay, we'll just hurt my feelings. Just stab that knife in the back and twist it a little bit.
But only my friends have told me that.
Oh, your friends?
Yes.
Like who?
Wyatt, Zach, a couple of my friends from school.
Well, those guys are losers.
I mean, they are Broncos fans.
Yeah, that's exactly why. All right. Well, before we get started, let's talk about the sponsor, which is Point P Grading and Turf Grass Maintenance, LLC. It's a busy season right now. Baseball season is coming up very quickly, so it's time to get those infields ready. Go over to pointbgrading.com and send me an email, and we'll get your infield ready for the next season. So, Brody, before we get started, we missed a couple weeks, but we are on the NFL Conference Championship week.
Mm-hmm.
But first, let's just kind of recap. Let's talk about the College Football National Championship game. Indiana wins 27-21 over the University of Miami. Miami was the 10 seed, and they actually make it a close game. They covered the spread. The spread was plus 7.5, 27-21. They lost by 6. What do you think about this game, Brody? What does it mean for college football? What does it mean for Indiana? What does it mean for the college football playoff?
First of all, my dad chose Miami to win.
I did. I won my bet.
No,
at Miami plus 7.5. Thank you very much.
He chose Miami to beat Indiana.
No, I chose Miami to cover the spread at plus 7.5. I thought it was going to be a close game. I thought it'd be a close game.
I know. I was just joking, but I think this was really, really good for college football. It kind of gives hope to the schools that aren't the Bamas and all that. That it is possible to win a national championship, and I think the reason is we've been talking about it. NIL is kind of evening out all these teams, and it just shows that if you have the right coach and he brings in the right players, any team really can win this national championship.
No, I agree, Brody, that it feels like that. I think what's kind of happening is the teams that are notorious football schools and the teams that are notorious basketball schools, that's kind of going away. That's eroding away. Where you have Indiana was clearly Indiana, Purdue, Duke, University of Arizona, Kansas. Like all these schools were basketball schools. UConn, like and now it seems like with NIL that the players are spreading out, that they're able to go other places. They're not just waiting their turn. They want to play now, and they can do that with NIL. And it seems like that a lot of these schools aren't just basketball schools or football schools. They're a little bit more of both now, which is good. Which is good for college football and good for college sports and everything. So Indiana winning a national championship is a huge deal because Indiana's a basketball school, right? They
were terrible at football.
They have been notoriously the Arizona Cardinals of college football for a long, long time. But now they won a national championship, so it's possible. So I'm excited. I'm excited to see what happens, and I think we've seen it even with like Texas Tech. Texas Tech always kind of been, a good mid sort of Big 12 school. Always kind of behind, kind of like the third stepchild behind Texas and Texas A&M. But now they won the Big 12 and they were in the college football playoff, even though they played like shit. But it's possible now that these teams feel like they have a chance. It's not just about geographical location. It's not just about prestige. That these teams with the right coaches, with the right, sort of guidance and everything, with the right players, that you can win and make a run for a national championship.
Yeah. I think also this national championship was not good for the ACC. They had a team in there, Miami, but Miami wasn't in their conference championship game. I just don't know how a team makes the national championship, but they weren't even in your conference.
Yeah.
Like, it's not like they lost the conference championship game. They weren't even in the conference championship game, and they just made it to the national championship. So I think this also kind of made the ACC look like worse than it already did.
Yeah. There's been a lot of talk about expanding to 16 teams or 24 teams or keeping it at 12. I'm in favor of 16. I said 16, everyone plays. There's no bye weeks anymore. 1 versus 16, all that stuff. But there's also the point where, yeah, again, that Miami was a 10. They were the last team in, basically. They were the last non-automatic, bid for the college football playoff. And they got picked over Notre Dame. And they went all the way to the national championship. And we saw, again, that this year, that 3 out of the 4 teams who got a bye did lose that first bowl game or their first playoff game. So I'm still in favor for 16 teams. Let's move it up a little bit. Maybe the week after the Army-Navy game is the first round of the college football playoff. And no one gets a bye, so no one gets rest. Everything's the same. I think 16 is the best way. That's what I'm voting for. 16 teams.
I saw a guy said, just get rid of week 0. Just move everything up 1 week. Because week 0, I mean, I don't know. It really doesn't mean that much.
Well, week 0 never used to exist. It always used to be Labor Day weekend was the weekend college football started.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Just get rid of week 0. There's no meaning and stuff. Well, and if you add another week of college football playoffs, you take away week 0, then it kind of
even after the New Year's Day games, it was a week and a half, 2 weeks before the national championship game was played. They can move this stuff up a little bit. They can make it a little tighter. I think it's perfectly fine to make it a little tighter.
Yeah,
and get these games in a little bit quicker.
Yeah, I also those teams that make the national championship are those players that want to enter the transfer portal. It's kind of unfair because the transfer portal happens during the playoffs, and by that time, most of their teams have already gotten their guys and the transfer portal player. So now all these teams are now all the Indiana players that are now entering the transfer portal. I just don't know how many spots are open for them and stuff. So they might need to move the transfer portal too.
Well, I think we've seen with the transfer portal, a lot of the players just follow a coach.
Yeah.
You talk about Oklahoma State. They got the guy from North Texas. All the North Texas players went to Oklahoma State. And same thing with Indiana. Kurt Signetti was the head coach of James Madison. He went to Indiana. All the James Madison people followed.
Yeah, I was watching. I scout for NFL. I was watching some of the Indiana players. Literally every single one that I was scouting, they had highlights from James Madison because they all followed Kurt Signetti from James Madison to Indiana. Exactly.
So I don't know how much that's a factor. I mean, it would be nice, but even still, the NFL coaching carousel is going on, but they can't really interview coaches with teams that are still in the playoff. So is it fair for those guys that they don't get an opportunity to go interview for teams because their team's good and they're still playing? Mm-hmm. So, I mean, there's always going to be some sort of unfairness. I guess I would just kind of like to see it, the transfer portal start when, the day after the national championship game or whatever. Mm-hmm. But, again, there's always going to be unfairness. It's never going to be perfect.
Yeah.
But yeah, Indiana wins. I think it's good for college football. It's obviously good for Indiana. I wish it was Texas Tech, but it's Indiana, and they earned it, and they deserve it.
Mm-hmm. I don't think Indiana a two-peats, though.
No, I don't think so either.
I think they go into next year playoffs as not the 1 seed, but a good seed, and I do think they go first round exits or second round.
Well, again, you got to get through the Big Ten schedule. Mm. If you're playing Michigan, Ohio State, Penn State, Iowa, some of these schools, it's going to be Oregon now, Washington, all these schools now are in the Big Ten. It's going to be a brutal schedule to get through all those teams. Mm. They probably beat Purdue. Sorry, Purdue fans, but
at Texas Tech, I was watching a thing.
Yeah,
the winners and losers for the Big 12 after the schedule are released. Texas Tech is the best winner. We play the bottom 3 teams of the Big 12 last year. We don't play Utah, BYU, Kansas, any other schools. Texas Tech's schedule is actually really, really easy this year. Our toughest game might be at Baylor, at ASU, maybe? I don't know.
Well, so that's the thing. We get ASU and U of A at home this year. Mm-hmm. So that makes it that a little easier. But We do have to play Baylor
and TCU.
It's the
last 2
at
weeks.
the end of the year. Yeah. So there's still some good games on the schedule and everything, and you never know how these schools
We play Colorado.
And I think we do have Oklahoma State too.
Yeah, we play Colorado. We are at Cincinnati. Brendan Sorsby get back game.
Yep.
So yeah.
But I think the last 3 games is Oklahoma State, Baylor, and TCU. So that again, that's kind of a tough way rivalry games to kind of finish the season.
We have Abilene Crimson our first week, Oregon State at Oregon State because they came to Tech last year, and then we play Houston, and then we play Sam Houston. So we have that one weird conference game.
But again, I think that what we're going to start to see, and I think people are going to start to realize, it used to be the Big Ten and SEC just dominated, right? They were always the best teams, but now that doesn't seem to be that way anymore. That the players are spreading out, that a player who was a backup for one school can now transfer and go play for another school and get a couple $1 million for it or a couple $100,000 for it. So the players are spreading out, and I think it makes all the conferences, it brings down the top, but it's also lifting the bottom conferences and teams. So I think people will start to realize that the Big 12, the ACC, those teams are just as good as Big 10 and SEC.
Yeah, I just think the Big 10 and SEC, they still have the big-time good players.
Yeah.
But the depth on their teams are not as good because without the NIL and the transfer portal, those 5 stars I would just sit behind all the other good players. But all those backup SEC and Big 10 players are now transferring to the ACC, transferring to the Big 12. I like the ASU and Tech are just filled with backup SEC teams and players.
And we know that the SEC and the Big 10 schools, who do they recruit? 5 stars and 4 stars.
Yeah.
But sometimes maybe those 5 stars and 4 stars, they need a little development and they're not starting right away. Yeah. So they're going to go play somewhere else and develop.
Yeah. So it's just kind of, the NIL has some flaws and it has some good stuff too.
Yeah. Well, the thing now is I'm seeing is that the Duke quarterback was trying to transfer, but he signed a contract.
Yeah.
So I think that's the thing that these players didn't realize.
Yeah, the school sued him.
That, they'll get paid and they're going to get some money, but you signed a contract and you're obligated to that.
Yeah.
And Duke was saying that their NIL money is coming from sponsorships with the school. They're not coming from the player, going out and getting a car dealership sponsorship or something. That these deals were coming from the school, and he's obligated to fill those requirements to get paid. And if he doesn't, he ain't getting paid.
Yeah. I heard Miami had to pay Duke because Duke basically makes a decision because he's
exactly
he's already signed a contract over them. But after all the drama, he is in the transfer portal, and Desmond Williams he tried to leave Washington, but he already signed a contract. And Washington was like, no, and then they just basically just told him, you can't transfer, so now he's back at Washington.
So, again, I think these players thought that they can just sign these deals, collect money, go wherever they want, whenever. No, that's not how it is.
Yeah.
It's because you better have someone read your contract before you sign.
I think that Duke quarterback, he was like, there's no way, Miami's quarterback job is going to be open by this time because Sam Levitt didn't go there. And he was like, oh, Miami's open. Yeah. Let me go transfer there, and didn't realize that he already signed a contract, and it's not that easy.
Yeah, exactly. All right, well, let's move on to the NFL. That's the main purpose of this episode. And before we get started talking about conference championship games, we always like to talk about our lonely bottom feeder Arizona Cardinals. And right now, they fired their coach, Jonathan Gannon, so we're looking for a new head coach. They're talking about, I don't remember his name, but the defensive coordinator from the Jacksonville Jaguars. Is that right, Brody?
I don't know his name, but
Campanelli.
Yeah. I have heard he's if you don't want if you just want an underrated guy, a guy that's probably gonna be loyal and get culture him. They're talking about Joe Brady of the Bills OC, but there's the only reason why it's kind of maybe don't sign him is because his only good years have been when he's had Josh Allen and when he had Joe Burrow and at LSU. So it's just how is he going to do when he doesn't have the best quarterback and stuff?
Yeah. It just seems like the Cardinals are in a position, they're always in this position, it seems like, that they need to find some sort of diamond in the rough coach.
Yeah.
And they're not going to get a big name because a big name is going to want control, and the Cardinals have a GM. The head coach is going to want Like John Harbaugh is going to want, GM powers and control over who's on the team. And they're going to want a quarterback. They're going to want an established quarterback. They're going to want a running back. They're going to want established players that they know they can build around and win quickly. Where the Cardinals, I don't know if they have that. They don't have a running back. They don't have a quarterback. They don't have the best offensive line.
The Cardinals
Marvin Harrison may or may not be a bust. We don't know.
The Cardinals have players, but they don't have that quarterback. They don't have that O-line, but they have players. And then the only thing is, all these insiders are just saying if Sean McDermott wants to be a head coach, the Arizona Cardinals are really his only realistic landing spot. But I haven't heard anything of them interviewing him or anything, so that's probably not going to happen. And then obviously you have the Rams coordinators and the Seahawks coordinators. But
these coaches that are still coaching.
Yeah.
Who can't interview yet.
So we'll just see. But knowing the Cardinals, they're probably going to go cheap and choose the wrong head coach, and in 3 years we'll be talking about who's going to be the next Cardinals head coach.
Well, I think now is that the GM, his job is really on the line. If he gets this coach wrong, that he will be fired with this coach without question.
Last time it was our owner signed had to do all the coach stuff because
he had to sign a GM
there was no
and
GM,
a coach. Yeah,
but now it's Monty Osborne's job to find find the coach
and it's his responsibility. So it's on him if this coach doesn't work out. So I don't mind that they're taking a while to get a coach. I didn't really want Stefanski.
Yeah.
I didn't really think we would get John Harbaugh. But again, I think there's got to be coaches out there. You just got to figure out what separates the best from the not so best.
Yeah, it's just really the Browns, Raiders, Cardinals, and the Steelers left really.
And think about it, and this is another thing to think about too, and
Bills.
We were in the coaching sweepstakes for Sean Payton.
Yeah,
who was the head coach of the Denver Broncos, who's now playing in the conference championship game. But the owner was not willing to make the trade to give up draft picks or whatever it was to get Sean Payton.
Yeah,
the Saints wanted too much to get the rights for Sean Payton.
Yeah.
Would you have made that deal now, or would you have made that deal now, or would you say, no, forget it, we'll find someone else?
I mean, I would probably make the deal now. I mean, the Broncos are the 1 seed in there. I know we'll get into this, but Bo Nix is hurt, but they still have a really good defense, and they still do have a chance to make the other Super Bowl.
The Denver Broncos team was kind of trash a couple years ago.
Yeah, they were kind of bad.
Now they won 13 games. They're in AFC Conference Championship game. With or without a quarterback, they still done these things.
Yeah,
things that the Cardinals don't normally do or ever do. So again, I'm not the biggest. I'm not the biggest guy. If I was a GM, I don't really value my draft picks as high as maybe other teams do. I know a lot of teams like to build through the draft, but it's still hit and miss. So if you are so certain that this is your guy, this is your head coach, this is your quarterback, this is that, trade those picks away. If you're for certain that this one person who you're going to bring into your organization, 100%, 90% chance that this is going to be successful, trade those draft picks away that are 50, 60% success rates.
Yeah, and especially for the Cardinals, they don't really all work out that much.
Yeah, they hardly ever do. All right, Brody, let's move on to the conference championship games. And this Sunday, we got 2 games. The first game is the AFC Conference Championship game. We have the number 2 seed New England Patriots at the number 1 seed Denver Broncos. Both these teams are 14-3. New England is favored by 4.5 points, and the over/under is 42.5. Now, the reason New England is favored because Mr. Bo Nix broke his ankle. He went full Brody, and broke his ankle. And is out for the rest of the season. Should be back before next season. But Jarrett Stidham, the backup quarterback for the Denver Broncos, is going to start. And what do you think about this game, Brody?
I do have the Patriots winning. And earlier I was just thinking it would just be like an easy pick, but I don't know. The Broncos have a really good defense. They are still in Denver. It's hard to play in Denver. We saw last week. All those Bills players had to get all that all those like oxygen tanks and all that stuff.
Yeah.
But they did lose Bo Nix, and their offense still kind of struggled with Bo Nix. And their offense isn't really all that good. And with Jarrett Stidham, his last start was in 2023, like the last week. I just don't know. I just think it's going to be too much over Jarrett Stidham to come out and beat this Patriots team that is actually really, really good. Drake May is really good, and their defense is really underrated. So I just think it's too much to overcome, and Jarrett Stidham does not take them to the Super Bowl.
All right, Brody. So are you taking what's your pick? Are you doing Broncos, Patriots -4.5, or are you just going money line? You doing cover straight dog on this one?
I have Patriots -4.5, but not like I don't think they're gonna win by like 2 touchdowns. I think it's like a touchdown game, maybe 10 points.
Okay.
So I don't think it's
not a blowout.
It's not a blowout, but it's like a touchdown game.
But they win kind of comfortably.
Comfortably.
It's a 2-score game, maybe. Something like that. Yeah. Okay.
So not a blowout, but just maybe like a touchdown or so.
Well, Brady,
Bro's taking the Broncos.
Let me tell you how you're wrong.
Jarrett Stidham's not winning that. I'm so sorry, bro.
Okay, let's start out with this. Drake May, I heard
is really good.
I heard 11 turnovers, 11 sacks in the last 2 playoff games.
Yeah.
11 sacks. That's a lot of sacks.
The Broncos D-line.
And now he's playing the Broncos.
The Broncos D-line did nothing last week.
So?
They did nothing last week.
It doesn't matter. They're playing the Patriots. 11 sacks, last 2 games. Okay? Now, what you don't know, Brody. What you don't know.
What I don't know?
Mr. Jarrett Stidham originally committed to Texas Tech University. Then at the last minute, he transferred to Baylor, or he recommitted. He committed to Baylor, but originally was a Texas Tech Red Raider commit.
I don't really care.
Yeah, you should care. Because he's good.
Did he go to Texas Tech?
He was actually rated higher than Kyler Murray coming out of high school as a dual threat quarterback. Now, again, this is one game we're talking about. This isn't a whole season that Jarrett Stidham has to get a winning record. We're talking about one game with a good coach who can come up with a game plan, and it's going to be cold. It's in high elevation. Broncos have one of the best home field advantages in the league. The other one might be the Dolphins and the Seattle Seahawks.
Yeah, and guess what? Other Patriots have played in Buffalo and have played in Miami. Like they have played in tough environments.
That's fine, but they got
to acting like other Patriots are trash. The
they
Patriots
still got to go to Denver.
But the Patriots have Mike Vrabel.
Still got to go to Denver.
Mike Vrabel. Drake May is MVP. Him or Matthew Stafford.
Broncos team is based around the defense.
It is.
Okay. And okay, I have not watched a lot of Denver Bronco games. Okay.
Me neither.
But I did watch the last one. Bo Nix is trash. Okay. That guy sucks. Yes. He cannot throw a spiral.
He's like Kyler Murray.
Every ball he throws is a duck. It's a wobbly spiral. He has no arm. He was just like, at the end of the game, every throw was just like lobbing it up. And then he was lobbing it up super high and throwing him way underneath, kind of like Kyler Murray this last year. And then that's when they would get the pass interference because the ball was so lobbed and thrown under short that the receiver had to come back for the ball, and then he would get pass interference. I was not impressed by Bo Nix. So is it that much of a downgrade to Jarrett Stidham?
Yes.
You think so?
Mentally. In the head.
In the head. I think when the backup quarterback comes in, and when everyone knows it's the backup quarterback, that's when everyone else steps up. And they know they got to do more. So I'm going to take Denver Broncos +4.5. They might not win this game, but it's going to be a 3 or 4 point game. I would take the Denver Broncos +4.5. Lock it up. Lock it up,
the
Brody.
Patriots have
Brody,
been in this situation forever.
Lock it up,
the whole year, it's always like there's no way other Patriots can keep doing that. But the Patriots out-physical every single team that they face. They just out-physical them and wear them down like Texas Tech did. And Mike Vrabel is just going to run this ball. And guess what the Broncos' defense is not good at? Stopping the run. And guess what the Patriots are good at? Running the ball. The Patriots are going to out-physical Sean Payton and this team.
You don't think... but guess what?
What?
That the Broncos are going to run the ball too.
I know.
It's going to be a low-scoring game, which means it's going to be a close game.
Okay, and this Patriots defense
is going to be cold.
Okay. Bro,
and there's a
the Patriots live in New England. It's literally cold there.
And home field advantage. But I'm not talking about cold. It's going to be altitude. Altitude cold.
All right.
Okay. Broncos are used to it. Patriots are not. Okay. I think there's a lot of things you're overlooking here, Brody. I think it's going to be a close game. I'll take my Broncos plus 4.5.
The Broncos almost lost to one player, and that's Josh Allen. And now they're facing a good Patriots team that is really, really good.
Who gets sacked a lot.
And they run the ball a lot, and they're really physical.
Yeah, the Broncos can run the ball too.
I know, but they have R.J. Harvey, and he's maybe not play, and they are
going against like the number 2 defense in the league.
What?
The Broncos, number 2 defense in the league.
Number 3, actually.
Number 3.
It goes Texans, Seahawks, Broncos, actually.
Okay.
And they did not stop the run against Buffalo, and the Patriots have Ramondre Stevenson, and they have Travion Henderson, who have been one of the best duos this last year.
I'm just saying, Brady. I'll take my Broncos. Well, I'll take not my Broncos. I'll take the Broncos plus 4.5. Brody's on the Patriots minus 4.5. All right, the next game, the Sunday night game, is the hated L.A. Rams, the number 5 seed, against the Seattle Seahawks. Seattle is favored by minus 2.5 points, and the over/under is 46.5. You want to go first on this one, Brody?
Yes.
Sure.
Give me my Super Bowl winning team, the Seahawks. Basically, the Rams are going into this game crawling, fighting so hard to get out of that Panthers game, then fighting so hard to get out of that Bears game, and they are maybe not as healthy. They are like just maybe like fatigued. They have barely won these last 2 games.
Yeah.
And the Seahawks basically haven't played. They have played 1 game and they destroyed the Niners like nothing. It's in Seattle. It's a tough place to play.
Yeah.
I do think if one team beats the Seahawks, it is the Rams. But the Rams have just crawled, just barely got through these last 2 games. And the Seahawks just ran through the Niners. I think the Seahawks will be ready to go, and the Seahawks beat the Rams. And I don't think Jarrett Stidham team with the Broncos or the Patriots can beat the Seahawks. I think the Seahawks.
You think Seahawks are going to win it all, huh?
Yes. The one thing I just want to say is just I just don't know. The only thing that holds me back, I just don't know how much I can trust Sam Darnold in the playoffs.
Yeah, that's true.
It is Matt Stafford, but I just think the Seahawks are just like basically have no injuries and stuff. Yeah. They're just here with 3 wins, I guess.
Yeah. Well, like I said, I'm on the Seahawks minus 2.5.
Same.
The reason is a couple reasons is that the Rams defense has not been playing well.
Nope.
And the Seahawks did play last week, but did they really play?
No.
They
showed up, whooped the Niners, and went home.
They were dancing around by halftime and high-fiving and having a good time and standing under the heaters and laughing with each other. They didn't really play that hard of a game. Now the Rams have had to fight.
Yeah, they fought
2 games in a row on the road. Yeah, this is the 3rd game on the road. Now, if you were to ask anybody, is it easier to win 3 games on the road or to win 2 home games? You would obviously say it's obviously easier to win 2 home games, especially when you didn't really play last week.
Yes, it was bad.
So I like the Seahawks in this one. Again, I think Broncos, Dolphins, Seahawks probably have maybe the best home field advantages, just because Seahawks so far northwest and that stadium is built for sound.
I do kind of want to say the Bills. I mean, that place is tough to play.
Well, the Bills too, but how many Super Bowls have the Bills won?
0.
Yeah, they can't win in the playoffs. So.
And when the Chiefs are good, they're really
maybe it's not the fans' fault or whatever, but I'm sure they have a good. But I'm just saying, just the Broncos have the altitude. Yeah. The Seahawks have that super far travel that everyone has to go to into a crowd. They have that 12th man thing that they do up there. The Dolphins are down there where it's super hot and humid. So in the early season, it's tough for those Northeast teams and Midwest teams to go down there and play.
They're in the NFC East, and they play teams that are from New York and
Buffalo,
and
Boston.
So when they have to go down to the hot Miami, it's definitely a good advantage.
Yeah, exactly. So I like the Seattle Seahawks. It seems like the Rams are a little beat up. It seems like the defense is not playing that well. Now, again, Sean McVay's a good coach. They got playoff experience. So
and they have played them twice this year.
That's why I do think it could still be 1-score game, but I do like the Seahawks minus 2.5 to win by 3 or more.
Yeah, and they have played twice already.
Yes.
I'm shocked that you didn't bring up the Zach Charbonnet situation. Because
Well,
earlier in the week, you brought that up to me, and I didn't think it was really going to be a factor.
Yeah, that it is a factor because when you have a two running backs, they're both getting 10 to 12 carries a game, but now the one guy is going to have to get, if they have another running back on the roster, he'll probably get 5 or 6 carries where Kenneth Walker or whatever will get he'll get 15 to 20 instead of his 10 to 12. So that could be a factor. I heard maybe Cam Akers or somebody is the backup running back for the who's a former Ram.
I think it is Cam Akers.
Yeah, and who's a former Rams, so he's going to be a little motivated, especially get a couple carries. Yep. He knows he's going to get 4 or 5 carries, and he's going to make the best of it. I'll tell you that right now. So, and you said, and as you said, the Broncos or the Seahawks are the number 2 defense in the league. So I will take the Seahawks minus 2.5. So we would have a Broncos Seahawks Super Bowl.
Patriots Seahawks. If the Seahawks win the Super Bowl, is Sam Darnold considered not a bust? Because his first couple of years were terrible. He was the first overall pick, and I still don't think he's a good really good quarterback. But if he wins the Super Bowl, I mean, he did win the Super Bowl, but he also had the best defense, or the top 3 defense. But I mean, he still won the Super Bowl.
It's kind of I don't consider Sam Darnold a bust, and I'll explain why. Any quarterback who gets drafted to the Jets, the Browns, and the Cardinals, and you are not successful, you are in a bad situation. Okay, it's not necessarily your fault. Now you see Sam Darnold has won 13 games 2 years in a row with the Vikings and the Seahawks. So, the talent was there, the evaluation, the scouting was there, but he went to the Jets. Okay, so you can't necessarily just call someone a bust like that. Again,
Baker Mayfield went to the Browns. Now he's good.
Exactly. So let's just. I'm not going to say he's a bust. No way.
Yeah, but I just when I hear Sam Darnold, I don't think good quarterback. I just think just a good a good system.
Well, he's a good quarterback. Maybe he's a good system quarterback, but maybe that's all you need.
Yeah, I mean, when you have a good defense,
with a good defense, maybe that was Russell Wilson.
Yeah,
maybe he was just a good system quarterback who could scramble and got lucky a lot, but he had the Legion of Boom.
I think Bo Nix is personally a system quarterback.
I personally think Bo Nix looked like trash. I couldn't believe how bad I thought he looked. And again, I don't watch a lot of Broncos games.
I've been saying that all
this one game.
Year.
But the guy couldn't throw a spiral. Bro, he couldn't throw a spiral, and his arm strength looked terrible. I couldn't believe it.
This whole year, the rare times I would turn on a Broncos game, 2 were against the Raiders. This Broncos offense, Bo Nix, looked terrible, and I would tell Zach every time I tune on a Broncos game, are they turning the ball over? Are they getting stopped? That offense would just look terrible.
I literally thought to myself watching the Broncos game, where I was like, Bo Nix throws like he's Peyton Manning when he was on the Broncos, and Peyton Manning was 40 years old.
Yeah.
That's how bad his arm strength looked and everything.
Yeah.
And how his passing just looked absolutely brutal. He almost kind of reminded me when Tim Tebow played for the Broncos, where he wasn't that good of a passer. But he did win a little bit, right? They did win a playoff game against the Steelers and stuff. So I am not sold on Bo Nix. Maybe he's a game manager, and maybe he, with a good defense, makes it a lot easier for himself. He's got Cortland Sutton, good wide receiver, all these things. But I don't know. I was not impressed by Bo Nix, and that's what I'm saying. I don't know if it's that much of a downgrade to go to Jarrett Stidham, who as I believe, has all the physical tools.
Jarrett Stidham is only good against the Cardinals in the preseason.
Yeah, well, you can say that about the quarterbacks, probably. All right, Brody. Well, that brings us to the end of our episode. Again, I am on the Broncos plus 4.5 and Seahawks minus 2.5. Brody is Patriots minus 4.5 and Seahawks minus 2. So Brody's on the favorites. But we will probably not be. We probably won't have an episode next week, but we'll do an episode before the Super Bowl.
When was the last time both one seeds made the Super Bowl?
I don't know.
Exactly. It's not going to happen now.
I don't know. But this is probably the year.
Remember when? Oh yeah. Maybe.
But we'll be back probably in 2 weeks for a Super Bowl episode. We'll do a lot of probably fun prop picks and bets and stuff like that.
And then we should be doing some maybe some March Madness stuff too.
Yeah, then after football season is done, we will convert to college basketball and baseball season coming up. Spring training right around the corner here.
And then the NFL draft and stuff like that.
NFL draft and all that stuff too. So, all right, Brody, let's sign off and we'll say goodbye.
Bye.
All right. We'll check on the flip side.
All right.